Evening, everybody. It's 5:45, and this is your closing comment for today, Thursday, the 27th. It's video number 1515 for this Thursday afternoon, and I want to remind you to hit that subscribe and the notification button. It doesn't cost you anything, but you'll get all of the information as I put it out. It was a very strange day in the indexes, primarily because there were some serious Dow movers that did remarkably well. McDonald's, for example, MasterCard, Caterpillar, probably the biggest of them. And so the Dow was up all day. As a matter of fact, I think it was up almost 500 and it closed up 194. That was against the backdrop of the NASDAQ, which was suffering through the Meta debacle and a couple of others, Align and Wolf. What's interesting here is that S&P was down and transports were down, but the little Russell was actually positive for the day, not by much, almost $2. But nonetheless, that was on top of a good day yesterday and the day before. Excuse me. So on the week, a lot of these I think all of them are probably up. So what was also interesting was the fact that a lot of these stocks bounced off the lows, the ones that were misses or were down. I mean, Wolfspeed beat, and it got down to 77.15, and by the end of the day had closed at 87. So it was still down $20 or 18%, but it was also $10 off the low. Why I think that was interesting is because it's in a contrast to Meta, which had a low of 96.10, and the last is just 97.74, down 32.02 or 24.6%. So there may be some more to come there. All of their stuff was really not well received, considering that it came from a guy who you can't really tell what to do because he has a super voting shares and controls it. Okay, so after the close today, Amazon, big miss. It actually wasn't as big a miss as some of the metrics were. For example, AWS was a disappointment. I don't know why that's such a big surprise, since Microsoft said the same thing about Azure, and there have been a couple of others like that. So Amazon had closed at 110.96, down $4.70. It then traded down to 87.54. The last on that one right now is 95.32, and that's down about 20 or 17%. Apple was a beat, but some of its metrics did not hold up. The stock had closed 144.80, down 455. It traded down to 136, but it's come back substantially, and right now it's 143, which is only $1.80 lower, and only down 634 on the day. It's still 4%, but it's nothing like the rest of these. Intel, remarkably, was a beat. It had closed at 26.27, down 94 cents. Let's remember, this is a company that's paying its new CEO $180 million, and the stock from the day he came in is down from 64 to 26. It got down after the numbers, got down to 25.21 and rallied back up to 28.64. The last is 27.84, and that's actually up 63 cents. And the last one that I'm going to give you today is one of my favorites, Pioneer, PXD, stock closed basically unchanged, actually up 35 cents at 265.84. Traded as high as 282, and the last is 271, which is up about $5.50. But what's decent here is they declared their dividend for the fourth quarter, $5.71. So that one continues to have these special dividends that they declare after seeing the earnings, and you know, it's the energy market. Okay, so as I said, the Dow was up. It was 8 to 7 up, advanced declines. Nasdaq down 178. It was negative 5 to 4. Volume was a little lighter than yesterday's 5.2 at 4.7. S&P down 23. That's the chart on the screen. And as you can see, it ran right into the falling 100-day moving average and the falling 50-day moving average, and could not get through. It has rallied a little off the lows. It got down to 37.57. I mean, this is it's still mid-range, so we'll have to see how that looks tomorrow. Some of the other futures, I'll just give you a brief rundown. We had the oil up on the day, $1.17. Um, Heating oil up 3 cents, gasoline up 6.3 cents, and only natural gas, the only piece of the sector that was down, and it was down 24 cents to 5.87. Gold was down. Silver barely up. Copper down 2.5. I still really like the copper. I didn't pull the trigger on CPER because I thought it might come in a little. It's basically mid-range on the day and down slightly. But as you can see, it looks like the 5 and the 20 are both going to go through the 50, and we're right under the 100. I'm looking for a close, as I mentioned this morning, on a weekly basis above 361.05. Bonds were up almost a whole point at 28.30 seconds, actually. Let's take a look. Yep, 28.30 seconds. The dollar was 90 cents higher. Bitcoin, Ethereum both down a little. And another one that I'm looking at is the coffee. It seems to be losing a little bit of its momentum to the downside, but I'm not quite ready to pull the trigger on that either. All right, everyone, I'll be back first thing in the morning. And tomorrow we have, let's see, at 8:30 we have personal income, personal spending, PCE prices, core PCE prices, employment cost index. At 10 o'clock, we have September pending home sales, which are expected to be solidly lower, and the October University of Michigan consumer sentiment. So there we go. Have a good evening. Hope you didn't get stuck with much Amazon here. It's funny, I mentioned this also. People who talk about not being long Meta or Amazon, or, you're long it, believe me. It's in the ETFs, it's in the mutual funds that you own, it's everywhere.